Welcome to this explainer. So today we're whiteboarding what is arguably the most critical foundational decision you're going to make in your enterprise Google Cloud environment, the shared VPC. Look, if you've ever built out enterprise cloud networking, you already know the deal. The architectural decisions you make on day one, they literally determine your long-term operational success or, frankly, your biggest headaches down the line. We're going to break down exactly how to centralize governance, standardize firewalls, and massively simplify multi-project operations across your entire cloud footprint. Let's get into it.
Here's our agenda for today's session. First up, the cost of network sprawl. Second, enter the shared VPC. Third, centralizing security and governance. Fourth, scaling with platform engineering. And finally, foundations for cloud success.
All right, Section 1, the cost of network sprawl.
So why does enterprise networking get so incredibly complex as we scale? Well, what we typically see out in the field is that cloud networking complexity grows naturally, sure, but often completely uncontrollably. Right? Large enterprises aren't just dealing with a handful of isolated servers anymore. We're managing dozens of distributed projects, intricate hybrid cloud connectivity back to on-prem data centers, and really complex security segmentation across all these distinct production and non-production environments. Honestly, when we audit these setups, we usually see teams struggling to even map out their own connectivity. Without a solid foundational plan, that operational scalability just hits a brick wall. And without a standardized model, what inevitably happens is this chaotic, highly fragmented evolution. It usually starts out innocently enough, right? Different business units spin up independent projects in a silo, just because they want to move fast. Then, app teams start scattering workloads across multiple environments. And before you know it, your security rules are drifting entirely separately from one another, and your connectivity models are just a tangled mess. It's the classic shadow IT nightmare, but playing out at a massive enterprise scale.
You can really see the stark difference here between decentralized project management and a standardized enterprise model. Let's look at common operational sprawl first. We're talking inconsistent firewall rules, duplicated configs, and massive security visibility gaps. Just imagine the troubleshooting complexity across your distributed teams when something breaks in that undocumented web. No thanks. Now contrast that with the shared VPC alternative. Simplified network management, centralized control, and true operational consistency. Standardizing here is what actually allows your cloud teams to scale without stepping on each other's toes. Plus, it saves your engineers from those brutal 3 a.m. debugging sessions where they're trying to trace packets across undocumented project boundaries.
Moving on to Section 2. Enter the shared VPC.
So what exactly is the fix for all this sprawl? Well, a shared VPC is this absolutely critical networking pattern in Google Cloud that allows organizations to centralize their network administration while keeping workload ownership strictly separated across projects. It enforces a very clear separation of duties. Your platform and network engineers, they control the core networking environment. Meanwhile, your application developers get to operate independently and safely within those pre-governed boundaries. Just look at the architecture at play here. That host project at the top acts as the centralized brain for your entire network. It handles all the heavy lifting, firewall standardization, routing, subnets, and your VPN or interconnects for that hybrid cloud integration. Below that, you've got your service projects. That's where the actual isolated applications live. And because those workloads sit on the shared network, the central policies from the host project just apply to them automatically. It's beautiful, really. Application teams just deploy their code, and the platform team ensures the pipes are secure. By pulling these specific networking components right into the host project, platform teams achieve true enterprise cloud networking governance. You instantly eliminate all those duplicated network configurations. Whether you're managing complex routing, standardizing your hybrid cloud connectivity, or maintaining really strict security controls, centralizing this infrastructure brings immediate operational simplification. You're effectively building a single, rock-solid secure network perimeter that spans multiple projects, and that fundamentally changes how efficiently your enterprise operates.
Which brings us to Section 3, centralizing security and governance.
Now, there is a very direct correlation between this architecture and your enterprise compliance posture. For those of you operating in regulated industries, this centralized networking model drastically simplifies your audit and compliance reporting. Why is that? Well, because you are no longer chasing security drift across 100 independent siloed projects. By standardizing your firewall policies right at the core network level, you can prove to auditors exactly how traffic is segmented and monitored enterprise-wide. It's a real game changer for compliance.
Think about it. How do you actually prevent lateral movement in a massive cloud environment? You do it by standardizing your ingress and egress controls at the shared VPC level. This drastically reduces the operational drift we talked about earlier. In cloud environments, operational consistency is security consistency.
As your cloud-native workloads scale up, your centralized security governance automatically scales right alongside them. Best of all, it requires zero manual network intervention for new projects.
Okay, let's look at Section 4, Scaling with Platform Engineering.
In our experience architecting these environments, you simply cannot build a reliable, automated platform engineering practice without this strong networking foundation in place first. You just can't. Think about it. If every single time a developer wants to deploy a new microservice, they have to submit an IT ticket for custom network routing, yeah, your platform engineering goals are already dead in the water. Platform teams need environments that scale predictably but remain highly governable. This shared VPC acts as that foundational baseline. It's what makes advanced platform automation actually viable in a real-world production enterprise environment.
Honestly, this pattern is kind of the holy grail for multi-team cloud operations because it perfectly balances agility with security. By utilizing a shared VPC, you're actively supporting fast, automated deployments for your developers. You give them that frictionless experience they crave while simultaneously maintaining the strict infrastructure guardrails that your security teams demand. It really is the ultimate win-win for scaling organizations.
Finally, Section 5, Foundations for Cloud Success. Establishing these standards early prevents networking complexity from just burying your platform teams in technical debt later on. The most immediate payout you'll see is in onboarding. You can spin up and integrate entirely new business units or projects without any extensive network rework. You standardize your enterprise-wide architecture, you strip away that troubleshooting complexity across your distributed cloud teams, and ultimately, you ensure long-term operational sustainability.
I want to leave you with this absolutely crucial takeaway straight from our sources. Strong networking foundations create stronger cloud platforms. Cloud networking isn't just about plugging digital cables together so servers can ping each other, right? It's the fundamental backbone of your operational architecture. The governance decisions you make here will absolutely dictate your long-term success in the cloud.
So, take a hard look at your current cloud environments today. Are you endlessly chasing inconsistent firewall rules across dozens of isolated projects, or do you have a centralized governable foundation? Ask yourself, is a shared VPC the missing architectural piece you need to finally secure, simplify, and scale your cloud operations? Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Now go review your networking architecture before it spirals out of control.